Hi there, and thanks for joining me as I do Take Me to the Hills. I'm going to get rid of the established and the elevation and the mountains and just do the hills since we have no mountains here, and this is the place I love to be. I have these Christmas trees that I've been waiting a while to decorate, and when this transfer came out, I just knew I wanted to decorate this, and this is a piece I can leave out all year long. Or I can do Christmas on the other side and then just flip it for Christmas time, their decorations, and then the rest of the year with the mountainside out. So fuzzing the transfer up, I choose where I want it placed. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through with a gray just to get an outline because I am going to watercolor the trees so that I can go back over the top with a black outline and make my black hills. So I'm just pressing a light gray through here, pulling it up and setting it off to the side. It looks kind of cool like that, but I'm pretty excited to paint it in. And one of these trees is too wide. Well, it's this one I'm on right now. Too wide. So I'm going to set it aside, let it dry, clean out the transfer, and then I'm going to, once it's dry, place it back down and add the part that's missing. But meanwhile, while that's drying, I am going to do my skinny straight tree. I'm just wiping the front and the back down with a Lysol wipe, putting it onto my fuzzing towel, wiping the front with a paper towel to dry out the silk screen, and then it's ready to use again. You can run to the sink and just rinse them out, but this is my fast way, and the kids are all sleeping, so I don't want to make a bunch of racket in the kitchen. So I am just putting this at an angle so I can completely fill up that area there, getting my gray outline in there. I'm going to finish up that side there by just adjusting a couple of mountains in there. And I really didn't think much about it when I lined this up, but it's going to be a little hard to go back in there with the black outline, and so you'll see me struggle a little bit with that later on, but it all works out in the end. Using two greens, the darker green for the trees and then the lighter green for the prairie grass. I'm just taking a little bit of the paste and some distilled water to water it down, and then I'm mixing it up until it's all blended, and then I can use a paintbrush to just go through and fill in. And you don't have to have a steady hand, you don't have to be a great artist. All you do is just fill in that area, and if you go over it like I do onto the gray, it doesn't matter because you're going to come back through in the end with an outline that's going to cover all of that up. So basically what you're trying to do is cover up the white. If you hit the gray, it doesn't matter. It's all going to come out in the wash. So there I am with my darker green, come through with my lighter green on the prairie grasses, and then I'm going to come through with a couple of blues for the water and the sky. It's going to be a lot of fun. This part is a little tedious, so hopefully it'll speed up a little more here. But just like I said, just back and forth. Doesn't matter if I hit the gray going through. I do decide to go back and hit the snowy looking parts of the hills with the green, since we don't really have elevations high enough to have snow up there all the time. I decided to make it green, so I will have green and black hills, as you can see on the top two I set aside. And just like I said, going through with my watercolors and get sloppy and have a little bit of fun. I really enjoy doing this. This is a fun one. I hope you guys enjoy watching it too. I'm going to go through with my little critter there, well, big critter, and I'm going to also add some brown to him and get him all dressed up and ready to be outlined over the top of as well. When I got him done, I thought he looked a little funny because it looks like he has 3 legs because his other leg's off the tree, but all right, so here we are. I'm getting my sky and my river ready to go, or my lake. I guess it would be a lake around here. And I'm adding some distilled water. Distilled because it will not mold. For some odd reason, tap water does cause our organic chalks to mold, and you don't want to do that. All of our chalks come sealed really, really well, so they stay moist and lovely for you. So mixing to get the right consistency, adding the water, blending it together, and we are ready to brush, brush, brush. So I'm going to paint in the little lake here, and you don't have to worry about any of the details. Just go over the top of everything because we're going to add the details in later. We're just basically using that gray for an outline to tell what colors we need where. I had considered just doing an ombre and then doing this all over the top, but I thought I'd show y'all the watercoloring technique that we can use with our chalks. And I'm not worried about going over the antlers or the hills or any of that. with the sky because, like I said, we're going to go through and add it later. I do use a smaller brush where I want the mountains to stay defined, where I know the outline is not going to be. So just really quick with a large brush, getting the sky done. And then I will go through and add some clouds, some birds, and all of our detailing. So here we go. Looks pretty poor right now without all the definition in there. We're going to paint my little guy here. Boy, I don't remember what color that is. I'll have to look it up and put it in the comments. All right, so we're painting the little guy in, covering up all the gray, just trying to stay in the basic outline that I have there. And then we're going to come through once he is dry and start all the detailing. It doesn't matter if you cover it up. We're going to go for it. And I'm picking the driest piece here. We're going to take our black velvet chalk paste. I'm going to stir it up. It is super, super thick, so I'm going to use my multi-tool. You're going to notice there's a hook on the end of it. It hooks up under around the lip of the jar and gets it really mixed in there. Doesn't leave any part of it unmixed, which I love. All right, so there we go. Mixing that up, and then I'm going to plop it down and squeegee it through. And you guys are going to just love the definition from that final step when we add that in there. Looks great. Bam. What do you guys think? Pretty awesome, right? You wouldn't know that one little transfer could make something so beautiful, such a piece of art. And it doesn't take a lot of skill. You guys saw I was not steady-handed at all. I was doing everything very, very quickly, and that's one of the things I love about this. While the kids were napping, I was able to make this really beautiful piece that can sit out all year long. Christmas decorations on one side, the Black Hills on the other, and I won't have to store it because whatever side I don't want showing will just be towards the wall. And the final piece here, this is the one where I haphazardly laid down those extra hills to cover up the rest of the piece. And so I do have a little bit of a time getting everything lined up and through there. And our chalk dries hard, and so if you don't pull it up before it dries, it will pull off. And you're going to notice that on the top of the hills there, part of it did not come through. So I'm just going to really quick wash off that corner and dry it, and then I'm going to come lay it back down and push that chalk back through and pull it up while it's wet, folks. You don't want to leave it behind. So knowing that's the spot I missed, I just get in there real quick, pull it up, and there we go. And these three pieces are so fun. They look so great when they're stacked like that. I am doing Take Me to the, and I'm gonna use some little tiny stencils that I have for spelling out hills. And I'm gonna add a couple of birds and some more clouds. You're gonna see those here. Really, really simple and quick. Look at that. The other clouds that I had recorded, I somehow forgot, or the other clouds I forgot to record, but it's in a shimmer white and it's just beautiful. And so I'm going to add another one where, right there. Let me know what you guys think of the finished product. I really enjoyed doing this one for you, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for sticking out with this long video. Happy chalking.